acclaimed musician in his own right, of course, and the managing and artistic director of jazz at Lincoln Center. He joins us from New York City. Good morning, Wynton. First, our deepest condolences to you and the family. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. Good morning.
Good morning. You had a chance to talk to your dad a few days before you lost him. What was that conversation like?
Right. It was normal, you know, just teasing him and messing with him. But I went through his history for some reason of all the gigs I had seen and people he played with. He was with it, and he's, you know, I would always kind of tease and mess with him, and he would just go, yeah. He'd say something every now and then. I got a couple of people's names wrong, and he was correcting me. It was upbeat.
I'm sure.
It was upbeat.
Yeah, I'm sure you've been thinking a lot about him in these days. What's one of your fondest memories of your dad?
Man, I'm so many. My father was so large. I teased him all the time about his playing, so I would act like I could play the piano, but I really can't play. And I would say, man, I'm coming for your gig, and I would play something. But I think the last thing we talked about in this conversation, he told me he was reading David Blight's book on Frederick Douglass. So I was telling him I was going to beat him to reading at the end of it, because I would always just tease him in that way. And he said, man, I'm almost at the end of it. You know, I said, I read it. You want me to tell you what's at the end? He said, no, man, don't tell me. No, don't do that. And he was just he's always working on stuff and studying and curious about stuff. I told him I met David, and I said, man, it's interesting to talk to somebody who wrote a book and can tell you what Frederick Douglass was doing in the 1850s and go year by year, just off the top of his head. And my father, he was very impressed with that. You've
called him your North Star. What from your perspective, what do you think his legacy is going to be?
I mean, he has hundreds of students, and we all loved him the same. He taught all the students the same. We're all like a big extended family, and he was so full of things. And he has the Ellis Marsalis Center down in New Orleans in the 9th Ward, in the community where he loved to be. And, you know, he left a lot of songs, and he played, and he taught a lot of us, not just music.
You're going to be hosting a virtual concert tonight featuring artists from around the world.
That's right.
What can the audience look forward to?
Well, you're going to see some of the greatest musicians in the world from their culture, and they did all these tapes specially for us. And we have people from Pakistan, from Japan, from Brazil, people like Hamilton Yolanda. Diane Reeves is going to be there singing a great version of Smile. We have fantastic young singers. Camille Thurman and Veronica Swift do a new version of Yardbird Suite, did a new arrangement. Richard Rose, and we all did it, the Jazz Lincoln Center Orchestra. We did it remotely. That's always interesting. The WDR band from Germany, Duduzo Makatini from South Africa, it's fantastic musicians, Richard Galliano. Everybody wanted to do this to show that we are one and that we all have the legacy of jazz and we share it around the world. It's going to be very, very personal and touching. People are talking. It's very warm. We have a lot of great hosts that come on and talk about the music. It's just a soulful thing.
Right. All right, Wynton, thank you so much for being with us. Again, our deepest condolences and respect on losing your dad. He really was a giant.